Your forecast first from KARK4.
A cold front continues to push slowly southward through the state, and while there may be a couple of showers, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder late tonight or early tomorrow morning, the bigger news is going to be the slightly cooler and less humid air that'll be moving in. In fact, by tomorrow morning, under mostly clear skies up north, a lot of folks pretty close to that 60-degree mark. A couple of showers early in the morning for central and south Arkansas. Overnight lows still cooler than average, mainly in the mid-60s to the low 70s. Your forecast for us for Little Rock, looking for a 30% chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the morning, giving way to partly cloudy skies. It'll be noticeably less humid by afternoon. We're going to top it out in the mid-80s. KARK4 News at 10 starts right now.
From the station you count on for local news that matters, this is KARK4 News at 10.
Emotions running high tonight at LRSD's public input meeting regarding local control. Why some are upset over what the future holds for the district.
And crisis at Central High. More videos of fights inside their halls emerging. What the school plans to do to end the violence.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Ashley Katz. We'll begin tonight with LRSD and their continued push to regain local control. KARK4's Rochelle Turner is live for us tonight from where that meeting happened. And Rochelle, people obviously have very strong feelings on both sides of this issue.
That's exactly right, Ashley. It was very similar to what happened last night. There was lots of argument. There was lots of people going back and forth with one another and members from the Board of Education. It was a packed house here at St. Mark Baptist Church, and people just had a lot to say. Now, at the first meeting that I covered, the board actually had it to where they asked the questions, and then they gave people the opportunity to answer and kind of give their opinions. Well, tonight, they completely changed it, and they broke it up into sessions, and it was something that people certainly did not like, and they made sure their voices were heard. Take a look at some of this video that we captured earlier. Now, the board had 4 breakout sessions for people to attend and discuss their ideas, but people made it very clear they didn't like it, and they stayed inside the church hall. Only 2 of the 4 sessions had a handful of people inside, and the board members, the purpose of the meeting, had 2 people inside, a handful of people inside, including the board members. The purpose was to allow the board to hear everyone, and when they returned to the church hall, people could give their opinions and then talk about what they discussed. Instead, people who remained in the church hall put together a list of ideas they wanted for the district. It included regaining full control, reopening schools that were closed, and getting a Democrat elect for November of 2019. It didn't take long for things to escalate. I spoke to students and teachers who said when it comes to getting their district back, no is certainly not an answer.
We're demanding it. We're not asking for it anymore. It's been 5 years. That 5 years is up. That 5 years is up. It's been up. We're taking our school district back now.
We're in it to win it. We've been in it since January the 25th, 28th, 2015. We have been on the governor. We have been on the State Board of Education. We have been on every superintendent that we've had since then. And let me just say this. They talk about instability in the Little Rock School District, but since they've taken over, we've had 4 different superintendents. They are creating the division.
Now, that student you heard from, Erica Conley, says she also wants the board to allow students to speak at that next board meeting. She says she doesn't want the district to end up like it did back in 1957. And tonight they also talked about they want the same rules and standards as charter and private schools. People were very upset that Education Commissioner Johnny Key has not made it to any of the meetings so far. There's still a lot to discuss here tonight, including the exit criteria and some of the schools that were failing. That was just some of the things that they presented to people tonight, and we just could not get to it because people just wanted to give their opinions. They wanted to speak out. So we'll be sure to keep you updated on the next meeting, which is going to be Thursday from 5:30 to 8. It's going to be at Longley Baptist Church. For now, reporting live in Little Rock, I'm Rochelle Turner, KARK4 News. Back to you.
All right, Rochelle, thank you very much. And the Little Rock School District rushing to break up yet another fight at Central High School today. The school says one of the fights apparently stems over a video game. The second involved 6 girls over a social media post. This is the second fight in 2 days. Central High Principal Nancy Russo says unlawful use of a camera or the electronic recording devices are in violation of the student handbook, and the student who recorded Monday's brawl and shared it on social media will be disciplined.
Parents, please visit with your children about the appropriate use of social media. We really need your partnership in helping us to monitor your children's social media usage.
RSD saying that they have multiple programs in place to prevent fights. Officials say, quote, of the hundreds of students who attend Central every day, the majority attend class and obey the rules, as demonstrated by the school's stellar reputation for student achievement. We work daily to provide a positive culture and climate for students and to ensure that they are connected to caring, nurturing adults.
Developing news tonight out of East Arkansas. State and local authorities in Helena, West Helena are responding to a barricade situation. Police confirmed 2 people were shot. Those victims have not been identified. The bodies were actually found in the front yard when police were called there originally about 4. When officers tried to administer first aid, the chief says a man inside the home pointed a gun at them. No shots were fired. We spoke with one person who saw the bodies in the yard this afternoon.
Yeah, 2 women. You know, like a bigger woman and a smaller woman. Our police officers rush in and tell us to get off the premises. You know, then once we got back, we had saw 2 bodies laid out in the grass. So that was kind of weird and kind of different.
Police have not confirmed the sex or identities of the 2 victims. A mobile incident command unit arrived within the last couple of hours. We'll continue to monitor the situation and provide you with any updates.
Authorities have arrested a man on a charge of criminal attempt to commit capital murder to shooting an attempted robbery back in 2017. Officials tell us 43-year-old Kevin Pitts is facing multiple charges. He's been in the Pulaski County Jail since last month, according to police. Details still pouring in about the developments in this particular case. It's a case that we'll continue to follow and keep you updated on air, of course, at KARK.com. Little Rock police officer and a woman are recovering in the hospital after a crash involving a police SUV. There you see it happen right there. Happened in rush hour this afternoon near downtown at Capitol in Chester. Authorities confirmed the officer was going to assist an officer call with lights and sirens on when it happened. No word on who may be at fault for this. We're told the injuries are non-life-threatening. That, of course, is the good news there.
More documents show how an officer was treated when he didn't make enough traffic stops to satisfy his superiors in the North Little Rock Police Department. Emails show he had his radar gun taken away from him, not making enough stops, and then had his shift and location changed. Without a 2-day notice, he resigned, then sent Chief Mike Davis a letter explaining his concerns as a 12-year veteran of the force, saying, quote, supervisors began enforcing a strict quota of traffic stops, calling it a measure of our productivity. When I didn't meet that number, I was punished. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office has a man drowned while swimming with his girlfriend in a southern Arkansas river. We're told 25-year-old Miguel Nunez was swimming in the Saline River at Vince Bluff when he went underwater. His friends' efforts to find him were unsuccessful. His body was discovered about 2 hours later. Deputies believe he couldn't swim to the surface after he got too deep in the water.
A symbolic tree that was chopped down last week in an act of vandalism is set to be replaced. The Elaine tree memorializes the hundreds of black victims of the Elaine massacre during the Red Summer of 1919. It was the deadliest race ride in American history. Officials tell us it will cost about $400 to replace after it was cut down and the tag was stolen. Some civil rights advocates are calling it a hate crime. Arkansas State Park officials investigating the vandalism. Events are planned for later next month to mark the 100th anniversary of that massacre that took place here in Arkansas.
The city of Sherwood will soon be getting its own entertainment district. Council members approved the plan Monday night. Officials tell us it'll be a little different than the one that just opened up in Little Rock. In Sherwood, the entertainment district will be open for planned events. Alcohol will be allowed as long as it comes from licensed establishments within the district.
You can have open containers of alcohol, but that's not Sherwood's intent, is to just allow alcohol to be free-flowing. There's a lot of stipulations, and it still has to be within certain confinements.
The entertainment district will cover an area near North Hills Boulevard and Country Club Road on the city's south side.